My daughter made this in the past couple days, so it gets to live for now. She did a good job. Ooh, what you got there, buddy? Yeah, busted. Busted. What's going on, everybody? This is Breaking Back, and welcome to another video. Today, I'm going to be starting on a coaster for my wife. I cut this piece out because I actually put her name, but for now she'll be Mrs. Breaking. Mentally. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Here is, I've never actually used a Dremel for carving, but this is kind of like the general idea I have for it. I'm a little torn. This is me trying it out. I actually was using this one to do what I just did on this little scrap piece here. And it's the same one I'm going to be using, which is poplar, which is perfect because it was soft enough to carve pretty easily. So what I'm torn between is if I should do like I did here, which is where, I mean, I messed up a little bit. I'll have to do a better job. But I kind of left a ridge between each of the colors. That way when I do the resin, it can't mix with the other colors because I'm going to fill this with resin. Or should I just try and freehand it where I mix up the 3 colors and I'll just have one big cavity and I'll try like maybe a drop of gold. Or no, I'll have to do it in reverse, huh? So I'll have to fill it with green and then work outwards. So do a yellow circle, let it spread a little. Yeah, I don't know how well that'll work. I think I might have to do it this way, but it's just so easy to mess up. But I think what I'll do is, since it's so thick, the last coasters I made, I planed them down. Maybe I'll just work on it, and if I mess up so bad, I can run it through the planer, get a new surface, and then if I actually nail it, I could just plane off some thickness from the backside. But this is not what it's going to look like. This, like I said, this is just a scrap piece of wood. It's going to be square with some tapered edges. And yeah, this will be resin. I don't know if I want to try to do her name. I can't see that going well, especially if I do it last and just totally mess up what I did. But I do have these little stickers, little metallic stickers made for like nail art. I wonder if I'd be able to fit her name that way. And then I can put a finish over everything. But I don't know, the first step is to get me a piece cut out. I'm going to cut it a little wider than it needs. That way I have somewhere to hold on to. So I twist it around. I found that helpful instead of trying to turn my hand and just turn the piece. But yeah, this will be, well, I guess my second attempt at using this to carve. So hopefully it goes well. I'm going to get that piece of wood cut. Oh wait, my bad, I didn't even mention. I do want to make my wife a weapon. This will be more of a staff than like a bladed weapon, I guess. But she loves peacock feathers and the color combination, obviously. And I think I'm gonna try and nail this as close as possible. This is kind of a little rendering I did. But yeah, it looks really complicated, and I know I'm gonna have to use this for some of this intricate details. So this will be good practice. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. For real this time. Alright, we've got our piece cut. This is the side I'll be using. It'll make it perfectly square. I guess we just gotta draw it on. I'm no artist. In fact, I'm very bad at drawing peacock feathers, which is why it looks like this. I wanted to go as simple as possible, but actually make it look like a peacock feather, so hopefully I've done that. I also know the bigger I go, the easier it'll be to pull this off. So we'll try to take up most of it. Oh, I kind of want to go in. Ooh, stains it pink. Good to know. And then we'll come around. Second circle is going to be a little oblong. And then this one will just be as thin as I can make it around the inner one. Shoot, that's going to be difficult. And then I just threw these little things on there. And that's pretty much it. I think that's centered enough. Now we just gotta try not to ruin it. After I get a drink of water. Oh, I gotta fill up my cup. I'm gonna have to pause the video. My cup's like half a gallon, it takes forever.
I'll be back.
Okay. Let's try not to butcher this. Actually, this one I kind of did like this, but I know that would put an angle. I wonder if I get more luck doing this. Let's try it. Yeah, I think I like that better. My hands are shaking. Okay, see my hands shaking. Sheesh. All right, I need to think before I mess this up. I still need to remove all this. So that'll be our dark green. I'm trying to keep this ridge here while I do that. I don't want to sand it yet. I'll get on my pencil marks. And then I need to remove, so this layer is already removed. I need to do that layer and keep a ridge while trying to leave enough meat to leave a ridge in the middle. Okay. Got this. So I still need to remove all this too. Let me color what I need to remove so I don't mess myself up. Shoot. Yeah. Wait. No, I need to leave that ridge. Okay, let's do that first, one step at a time. don't think I messed it up that bad. I'm gonna sand it down now that I've got everything at least traced out. All right, that's what we're working with. Now I'm gonna smooth out some of that stuff. I think, yeah, this one's finer. I should have used this one in some of those spots probably. I think those are about the same. But I feel like I can get some finer detail with this one. Let's try it out. Ooh, thought that was gonna be piping hot for a second. It's getting tiring holding this thing like a pencil. Yeah, I've definitely got some cleanup to do. Alright, I don't know if you saw that, but as soon as I touched it, it went, yoop, opened up one of my channels. Dang. Starting to worry about how this is gonna look. Do gold, like teal, gold, and then the dark green. Okay. I'm gonna do UV resin, which means I probably shouldn't make it too dark. Otherwise it might not cure at the bottom. I don't know, this is pretty thin. I feel like I need to go through and make these deeper though. Or maybe those can just get painted clear. Let's get to the resin. Okay, let's get started. I'm gonna do yellow first. And I'll just keep using the same thing. Do not need a lot of yellow. I think originally I want to do two different, like a gold and then the yellow, but I think I'm just gonna go for the same yellow so I don't have to mix up extra stuff. I don't think I have my proportions right as far as the cavities that fill in with color. But we'll see how it turns out. There's no going back now. Hopefully it looks good enough to use. It's for her desk at school. Alright. Let's get this on before I make a mess. And get my torch lighter, or my barbecue lighter. Although I could use a torch for this one. I don't want to make it all spread around. So I'm trying to do the center first. And maybe we can kick it off real quick. Oh man, that's nerve-wracking. Oh no. Instantly, that was way too much. Shoot. I think I'm gonna have to use rubbing alcohol, right? These ones don't splinter very well. There we go. That's what I should have done from the start. I'll just build up the layer. Get this out so I don't cure it. Should be good enough for now. I'm just building up the layer so I don't have another accident where it spills over. And I think at the end when I get this all sanded flat, when the resin's all done, I think I'm going to go through with like a black Sharpie or paint marker, hit these rings. We'll see how they look with, or we'll see how they look before I do that. Maybe they'll look cool with the wood grain. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get without it overflowing. So now we'll do the yellow ring, and then we'll get some, we'll mix up the teal. I kind of want to do these side feathers, like on here, it's like gradient. Starts teal or whatever, and then turns into the dark green that's going to be the feather and stem. We'll see how it turns out. So now I need a skipper ring. Gosh. All right, let's see if I need to add any. I want it to at least be high enough to where it'll sand flat. Oh, they gotta bubble out a little bit. Oh gosh. Okay. All right, here's what we got so far. Should be all sticking up high enough to be sanded in the end. So now we'll mix up some teal, which I think this will be our stem color. Maybe we'll just go with this Maya blue, and then this is turquoise. Should be able to clean this out. That's how I clean it out. Man, when I first started this, I used to use rubbing alcohol and a paper towel and scrape it all out before it would harden. Now you just wait, or if you use UV resin, you just kick that off, peel it out. So now we're gonna do this one, the inner ring, and some of the lower feathers. Yeah, got some of it. Not covering the whole thing. This yellow ring was supposed to be a lot thinner. Oh, shoot. Alright, I may need to kick that off before I add more. So I think right about here, I'm going to transition to green. We're down with the blue. Oh, lunchtime. I'll text my wife for a bit and we'll be right back. Actually, I'm going to make something to eat for myself while I talk to her. We'll give it a little break and then I'll come back. We'll finish this green and
Sheesh, that's about it. We'll sand it flat and see how it looks. Hopefully it turns out good enough for me to want to continue. And then from there, we'll just get it squared off, get the edges tapered, and we'll get it sealed with something. I have wood honey, but I also have that water-based polyurethane, so I don't know, maybe I'll look into the wood honey. I think that's more for if you need to eat off the surface, but if it seals it, that was a lot easier to apply. So that's where we'll leave it off for the next 20 minutes or so. I'll be right back.
Okay, lunch is done. My wife's back at work. Now it's time to mix up some of this turquoise. So the rest of the cavities I carved out will be getting this color. I may add some black to it. Yeah, I think I'm going to. Shouldn't need much. There we go. That's more what I had imagined. My daughter's gonna take the bus home, and the timing works out perfectly to where she gets to the bus stop the same time my wife does. So every once in a while, like I said, we'll have my daughter take the bus on Fridays. That way my wife gets to pick her up too sometimes. But usually I just pick her up from school. But today, my mother-in-law is going to be coming and picking up my son from my house a little bit later after I pick him up from school. And he's going to be staying the night. So we'll just have my daughter tonight. Usually we do something special. We'll play like a lot of card games or something, depending on whatever they want to do. My son usually likes to play like a pretend game with his imagination with all of us. And in that game, he's always got, no matter what weapons we use, no matter what the scenario is, he comes out on top. He can't be damaged by my weapon. He can't, you know how it is. It's fun though. I love that he uses his imagination. And then with my daughter, it's usually card games or board games. So I imagine we'll be doing a lot of that tonight. My son only recently started sleeping over at grandma's. So it's been nice. Feels like it's been a really long week. I didn't get any videos out yesterday because, well, I took the car to get smogged, and that took a couple hours. And then I got home with enough time to I relaxed for like half an hour, and then brought my wife lunch at her school. She's a teacher. Because another teacher there's having had a baby shower. It was yesterday now. And my wife forgot the present at home. She didn't realize it till she got all the way to work. So I just figured I'd bring her lunch, bring the gift. So she had it for the shower. The kids went home early yesterday from her school. The students did. So they just had the baby shower after that. So once I give all this a final cure, I'll go ahead and hit it with some sandpaper. Use my orbital sander. We'll get it all flush. Once it's flush, I won't worry about polishing it yet. We'll get it flush, and then we'll throw it through the planer face down. And we'll take off about an 1/8 or 1/4 inch, I don't know, however thick I want to make it. Let's see, is anything not bubbled up to the surface? At least the surface. It looks like we got it all.
Go ahead and give it the longest setting. And then once this turns off, I'll go ahead, I'll probably run it twice just to be sure. I don't want any tackiness when I go to hit it with my sander. And then I think what I'll do is I'll cut it and then sand it. And then I'll be back after that. We'll see how it looks from there before I get it all planed down. All right, I got it sanded down. It's face down right now because I don't know if you realize, I certainly didn't. This was way too short to ever be able to pass through my planer. I think it needs to be about 15 inches long so it can reach each roller. So I've got it taped / super glued to this long board right here, which will act as a sled. And then this board will make it long enough to reach both rollers, and I can get that knocked down to 1/8 or 1/4, whatever I was gonna do. And we'll go from there. Okay, so here is what I'm left with. It's not as good as I'd hoped. It looks like a 4th grader did it, yes, but nothing. Doesn't look like I thought it would. I think the problem is the ridges that I thought would separate the colors. They were there, they were just lower than I thought. So you can see when I sanded down, it didn't actually bring the wood out all the way around like I thought it would, and it's just messy lines, that's all. But for first go around, I think she'll like it. And I've got some resin mixed up right here. I think what I'm gonna do is just coat this bad boy in a little thin coat of resin. That way, maybe it can help those colors pop more the way they're supposed to look. But yeah, I've only ever really done this on a small scale with UV resin, but it's the first time for everything. Looks like we got full coverage. Looks silky smooth. Ooh, almost dropped my papers on it. All right, well that's what we're left with. It should look more or less the same tomorrow when this all dries. It's not as good as I wanted it to be, but I know she'll love it. And well, if people make fun of it, she can just tell her one of her students made it. I'm just kidding. Well, that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope it gets even better from here. And even more importantly, I hope you have a great weekend. It's Friday, baby. I'll catch you guys next time.